Ubisoft has royally screwed themselves over the past year. Skull and Bones was a quadruple A failure. Defiant wasn't the COD killer they wanted it to be. Star Wars Outlaws was a flop, and Assassin's Creed Shadows has been delayed multiple times. It's faced multiple controversies, and even the recent gameplay event that they held went terribly for them. But now Ubisoft is shutting down another studio and laying off nearly 200 people. Before I get into the topic, though, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube membership. So yes, Ubisoft has announced that it was shutting down another studio and is laying off around 185 people across its entire business. And I do not like to revel in the fact that people are losing their jobs, but at the end of the day, if you are not good at the job you are being paid for, you really do not deserve to have that job. And that is a big problem with Ubisoft right now. Even the Assassin's Creed franchise lead had admitted that they hired primarily juniors for AC Shadows. Like, that is not good news to hear. And yes, I love people being given opportunities, especially people who are new to an industry, who are just that talented that you shouldn't keep them on the sidelines. But there comes a point where you need to be looking at your failed project after project after project and ask, what can we do differently? And that just happens to be cutting down on some of the numbers and maybe going back to the point where they have enough money to hire talented people again. So Tom Phillips at Eurogamer has reported that Ubisoft shut down Ubisoft Lemington, which was located in England. The studio's 50-person staff is being disbanded. According to Moby Games, their most recent releases included Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora and Watch Dogs Legion. I didn't play Watch Dogs Legion. I did not hear very good things about it. I heard it was just a very mid experience, but I did play Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, and initially I was very excited for this. It looked beautiful. It seemed that there were a lot of cool systems, and I was really interested in exploring Pandora and learning more about this world, because at that point we only had one movie and it was really, really bad. It was buggy, it was glitchy, it was repetitive, it was just a major disappointment. But not only did they work on those two games, there are several others, because the studio also worked as a support studio on the Division series and also assisted development on games like Star Wars Outlaws, Skull and Bones, and Far Cry 5, which Far Cry 5 did pretty good. The Division series has had its ups and downs. And then Star Wars Outlaws was a flop. It was the game that they put the most amount of money ever towards marketing. And you would think Star Wars, right? Big, big name. People would line up to buy it. It did not sell what they expected. And then Skull and Bones was a quadruple A failure. They dumped hundreds of millions into it just to a year later have it basically be dead, which is, I can't say that's shocking when you have a game, right, that you're marketing as quadruple A. We expect more than a double A experience, and we didn't get that. Skull and Bones was supposed to be major, it was supposed to be around for years and years, and it completely flopped. And with a title like Star Wars Outlaws, they wanted it to do better than Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. Those two games combined sold 15 million copies, which is a hell of a lot. They were really great games. Star Wars Outlaws was just a mediocre experience all around it. Of course, leading up to release, it did face a lot of backlash, so sure, this studio was not the primary studio behind games like Outlaws and Skull and Bones, but they did help in its eventual death. They did kill these games, or assist kill these games. But on top of them being shut down, Phillips also shared that other Ubisoft offices in formerly Blue Byte, Stockholm and Newcastle-based Ubisoft Reflections will be downsized. So lots of downsizes going on, and sure, the industry right now is not in a perfect place. We're seeing a lot of people being laid off, a lot of studios being closed, a lot of acquisitions happening because they wouldn't be able to stay open otherwise. And this is just par for the course, especially for a company like Ubisoft, who just back in 2021 had a market cap of $12 billion dollars, and now it's under $2 billion. That is a drastic drop in only a few years. And I do genuinely believe that Assassin's Creed Shadows is the make or break for this company. If they do not create an amazing experience here, which, judging by what we've seen so far, I don't think that's going to happen. I do think that we are going to see the buyout. We are going to see them be taken private. I do think that we are going to see thousands of employees laid off, maybe 2 to 3 games releasing a year, but very strategic moves. And that's just not how Ubisoft has been for years at this point, but they're kind of getting what they deserve. They have some amazing franchises, some amazing characters they could work with, but instead they decide to create the Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, where it's repetitive and it really doesn't have a lot of innovation behind it. Skull and Bones, which was just this gigantic game that didn't have a lot of substance, and then Star Wars Outlaws, which wasn't the worst game I've ever played for what I could play, because I personally couldn't finish my live stream playthrough because I reached a game-breaking bug where I could not progress the main storyline. So what I played, I wouldn't have given it a 0 out of 10, but I can't even give it a rating because I couldn't fucking finish it. And this announcement also comes in the wake of Ubisoft announcing it would shut down Defiance last month and transition half of the team to other positions within the company. This is also another game that completely failed for them. They expected it to be the COD killer. They waited too many years to actually release it, and it ended up just being an okay experience. Just a few weeks ago, Yves Guillemot had an email he sent out leaked where he indicated more layoffs would be on the way, and we're definitely seeing them happening. And of course, gamers are not responding to this the way that Ubisoft would hope. People are not lining up to defend them, saying, oh my god, we feel so bad for these developers. I wish that they'd be given more of an opportunity. No, people are roasting them. Definitive proof that the more you fuck around, the more you find out. Absolutely savage. Excellent. Let us celebrate them reaping what they sow. This can't be right. I was assured that both those games were quadruple A and gaming's ultimate peak. Well, the curtain is about to fall. Have fun not owning your games. Oh no. Anyway, this was also a major controversy that they have been in. I was hilariously out of touch. Have fun not owning your games. Yikes. I can live with that. Bit sad about Blue Byte though. They were a big part of my childhood and still make decent games. 185 DEI losers lost to the wind. Good riddance. Is Ubisoft in trouble or finally clearing the way to be decent again? Time will tell, but there can be no improvement in games until mass firings happen. I do not think that they could just magically change. I think it would take years and years and years in order to see them change, and I just do not have any blind faith towards these companies anymore. I'm not going to sit here and ask, oh, is Ubisoft getting better? Because until I actually see something that makes me believe that they're getting better, a few layoffs isn't really going to change that. So I will be keeping my eye on the situation. I wonder if Ubisoft will make any statements, if any disgruntled developers will come forward and leak any other information or say, hey, listen, things are really that bad at Ubisoft. But for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.